¿Qué lo que mi gente? Today I'm in Seattle with Elena, who's gonna take us through a yoga thing. I'm feeling really tight and she says she has the answer for it.
I certainly do. This is a yoga class. I call it a full body tune-up. So it helps to address areas of the body that tend to get tight or stiff from cycling.
Perfect.
All right, so for props for this one, you'll see we've got a little bit of a setup here. So we will be spending some time kneeling, so I'd recommend if you have sensitive knees in contact with the floor, grab a blanket, because that'll let you focus more on the stretch instead of the owie in the knees. You'll also see we have two balls here. So these are special myofascial balls, but any ball will do. You could grab a tennis ball, you could grab your dog's ball. You might wanna wash it off first. If you only have one, I'll let you know when to switch sides. That works out great. If you have two, even better. Okay, we're gonna start off today in a tabletop. So you can just take those balls and put them off to the side. And we're gonna come to tabletop, hands and knees. And then we're just gonna start with a little bit of movement here. So on your inhale, arch through the spine, cow pose. Exhale, round through cat. Just start to move on your own in cat-cow. And if you feel like adding on extra movement, this is a great time to do so. You could be circling the shoulders and the hips. You could play with a little side to side. There's no right or wrong or one way to do it. This is a great opportunity to just notice how your body's feeling and kind of just work into and breathe into the areas that might feel a little extra tight today. Let's do 3 more rounds of breath. And after your 3rd round of breath, make your way to a neutral spine. You're just gonna take your right foot and step it forward to the outside of your right hand. And then just wiggle your right foot in towards the middle so your hands frame your foot, and then inhale, lift your arms up. So we're in low lunge, Anjaneyasana, good. So actively push down through both of your feet, especially the top of your back foot. And then imagine it's like you're trying to drag your left knee forward to the top of your mat. Do you feel your hip flexor come on?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So feel the hip flexor. And see if you can find a level of engagement that feels interesting, but not into that crampy region.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. And then take your right hand onto your thigh like a kickstand. Inhale, reach your left fingertips up to the ceiling. On your exhale, side bend to the right. Keep trying to drag your left knee forward. So we're really getting into the outer hip, the hip flexor. Turn your chin towards your right shoulder. That's a little bonus stretch for the neck. Take a deep breath. Inhale to center, both arms reach up. Exhale, take your hands onto your front thigh. So this helps to keep your torso lifted. Let your hips sink forward and down any amount. So now we're getting into a passive hip flexor stretch. Do you feel that in your hip flexor?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel that from like my left shoulder all the way down to my knee. It's all just pulling and stretching.
Take a few deep breaths into it. So the first one we did, active by engaging the knee into the earth, helps bring that blood flow and tone into the region. And now we can just let it be a little more passive and relaxed.
Oh, this feels so good.
I know. Let's do one more breath. Okay, take your hands down to the floor. And then we'll just slide the right leg back. And we're gonna come into a little side plank variation. So right leg straight back behind you. And just turn your left foot off the long edge of your mat, right hand up. Perfect, okay. Actively push down into the top of your left foot. Take your right arm, bring it overhead. So you feel really long, almost like you're trying to create a rainbow shape of your body with your body. Think of lifting through your right side ribs. Actively push your whole right foot down, let your left ear drop towards its shoulder. How does that feel on your side body?
I love it.
It is so good. Take a deep breath. Inhale here. Exhale slowly, we'll come down to center, tabletop, do 1 round of cat-cow. Back to neutral, left foot steps forward to the outside of your hand, and then you can wiggle your left heel in, and then inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, push your feet into the floor. Push the top of your right foot down. Imagine it's like you could drag it forward to the top of your mat. Let's see if you can feel that opening in the right hip. And you'll keep that. Left hand onto your thigh. Inhale, get tall on your right side. Exhale, side bend over to your left. And then option, turn your chin towards your left shoulder. Keep trying to drag your right knee forward. Breathe. Inhale to center, both arms reach. Exhale, both hands onto your front thigh so the heart stays upright. Let your hips sink forward and down any amount. And you can keep really grounding down into your front heel so it gets a little love and mobility into the ankle too. And the front of your right hip.
This is one of those stretches you're like, oh, I feel that, but it feels so good. Oh.
It's the type 1 fun. You're like, I like it now. Let's take a breath. And then you'll just bring your hands down to the floor so you can wiggle your left leg straight back. Then you turn your right shin off the long edge of your mat like a kickstand, side plank variation. Right hand stays down, left hand comes up. Push down through the entirety of your left foot. Take your left arm by your ear and try to make a rainbow with the left side of your body. So think of lifting up through your left side rib cage. You can let your neck relax. Push down through both of your feet and your right fingertips. Take a couple breaths. Inhale. And then exhale slowly down through center, tabletop. 1 round of cat-cow. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. So lengthen the stance as in slide your hands forward, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Alternate bending your knees left and right. And really get into the ankles here, so be very dramatic with the lift and lower of your heels. Yeah. You've been doing lots of cycling lately. How's this feeling?
This, my calves, I didn't know that they were tight until right now.
Hello, calves.
Hello, calves. Good job on the last 200 miles.
That's right. We love our bodies. They do so much for us. Okay, inhale, lift both heels really, really high. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Come to the top of your mat, forward fold, and we'll take a ragdoll. So feet out really wide, pinkies to opposite elbow creases. Bend your knees so your torso can really hang. And then play with a little sway side to side.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, it's so good. Let your head hang heavy. And if your low back feels pretty stiff, bend your knees more.
Oh,
ooh.
Yes, that's the spot. Wow.
Little things can make a really big difference. Take a couple breaths, there's no rush. Inhale. And then exhale, release the bind. Bring your feet in about hips width distance apart. On your inhale, chair pose, hips down, reach your arms. And then exhale, sink down into your chair. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift your spine, torso parallel to the earth. Exhale, release, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Connect into your breath. And then bring your knees down to the mat, tabletop. Right foot will step forward to the outside of your right hand. And then wiggle your left leg back a little bit. And then you can be on your hands here, or your palms can be flat. Yeah, let your hips sink forward and down. How's this feeling?
Oh, I feel that right in my hamstring.
Couple deep breaths.
And I feel like I'm just giving my body the love that it should have right now, the love it deserves.
Totally. Especially as an athlete, it's like you ask so much from it all the time. It's good to fill the cup. Okay, ready to add on a quad stretch?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
If I can get there.
Okay, I'll give you a couple options for entry. So
Okay.
bring your left knee in a little bit, just slide it forward a couple inches. Okay, so first you can start by bending your left knee, reach back with your right hand and take a grip on the top of your foot. There you go. Okay, nice work. I'm gonna give you a block. So for our friends at home, if you have a block,
Oh, yeah.
pop your hand up onto that block. Gives you a little bit of extra reach. Another option, if you have no blocks but your quads are tight, is you could shorten your stance, then find the grip on your foot and come forward.
I should come forward now then?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
but in a reasonable way.
No, it's not bad. I don't think I've ever done this before.
Okay,
Oh my God.
new territory. You're an emotive guy, I like it. Let's take 3 deep breaths. And without slingshotting your foot, you'll gently release, let it come back down to the earth. This is why the knee padding's really nice. Okay, right foot steps back, tabletop. And take 3 rounds of cat-cow, nice and slow. And then back to neutral. Left foot steps forward to the outside of your left hand. Then wiggle your right knee back within a reasonable amount. And then hips can come forward and down.
Oh yeah, now we're talking.
Try to relax your jaw, relax your eyebrows.
So the last couple of days I was riding from Seattle to Portland. So I did 206 miles over the last couple of days and my body is definitely feeling it. But this is helping drastically.
That makes me so happy to hear. A little bit goes a long way, right?
Yeah, I love this.
Just a matter of getting it into the habit. Okay, quad stretch time, you ready?
Yes,
Bend
I love
so
it.
start by sliding your back knee in a little and then bend your back knee. Right hand can come onto your block if you'd like. Yeah, and then hips forward and down. But the rule is if you're making a face like you're going too far.
It's too far?
Yeah,
Okay. No face making.
exactly. One more breath. And then slowly, gently release. Both hands to the earth, left foot comes back, 1 round of cat-cow. Back to neutral, and then you'll make your way to lying face down on your mat. But take a second to move the blanket out from under your knees if you've got one. You can just put it off to the side. And then make sure your myofascial balls, whether you have one or two, or it's a tennis ball, bring it so that it's nearby, just within reach off to the side of your mat. And then come to lying down. Take your time, you can meet us there. So once you're lying down, you make a pillow out of your hands and rest your forehead. And then see if you can relax enough around your core that when you breathe, you can feel the movement of your lower back with your breath. This is a great way to invite in really organic softness around the lower back and the deep core. Just by softening around your core muscles and feeling that gentle three-dimensional expansion.
Wow.
Pretty nice, right?
This is so nice.
We're gonna do a little self-massage for our hip flexors using these balls. So, go ahead and grab your balls and I'll show you from... Dang, I laugh every time I say it. Okay, I mean, how can you not? Come on. So, the placement of the balls are gonna be in your hip flexors. So, one ball in each hand, you'll kind of roll to the left side, you'll take the ball and place it to the inside of your hip point. So if you were to find your hip point, and I'll show y'all at home, and again, from a different perspective in a moment, take the ball just to the inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
What the hell? On both sides?
On both, feel better if you have both sides. I know it sounds crazy, but it distributes the tension than just one side.
Okay.
And then come to lying down flat.
Oh, that does make a difference.
Yeah.
Just lie down?
Yeah, just...
What do I do with my hands?
Try, make a pillow out of your hands.
Okay.
Yeah, try not making it look painful for our friends at home. They're like, I don't want to do it, sounds crazy. Okay, so Kevin's enjoying himself, so if you're at home and you're like, where do I put these balls? Go ahead and take a look at me really quick. You can find, if you were to identify your belly button, maybe an inch or two below, and out to the sides. You can identify these front hip bones, the bony landmarks there, and the balls go just to the inside. And you want to make sure the balls are not so low that they're in the hip crease themselves, because that can feel really awkward and uncomfortable or really tender.
Oh, okay, yep, that's what I was doing.
Okay.
This feels much better now.
Excellent. I'm glad that I said that out loud. So you want to make sure, again, not in the hip crease, a little bit higher on the inside of your bony landmarks. And then think of breathing into it. If you have one ball, it can feel intense, so you might slide a blanket or a towel under the other hip to help even out the pressure. And I'll tell you when to switch sides if you are using one ball. But for now, see if you can breathe into it.
Where has this been all my life? This is amazing.
Hee hee. Now you have it. So you can stay lying down flat. You can also prop yourself up onto your forearms. And that'll just change the way that you're giving pressure over the balls.
Oh. Wow.
That was a very loaded... Oh.
They're just feelings I've never felt before.
There you have it, folks. So funny. If you're using one ball, go ahead and switch sides.
So what exactly is this doing?
Great question. So this is like massage type pressure for your hip flexors.
Oh.
So hip flexors, as I'm sure you know, tend to get tight and feel kind of like maybe pinchy or uncomfortable for a lot of us. And stretching, like we did in the lunges, can feel really nice, bring that blood flow and tone. But this is just like another tool in your tool belt to access release for the hip flexors through massage. And it's cheaper than going to a massage therapist.
Just grab your balls and do it wherever, you know?
Exactly. Again, you heard it here first. And it's also a really great one if you feel like you stretch your hip flexors a lot, but they're always chronically bugging you. Sometimes stretching continuously isn't the answer, right? So this is just another way to try to work with the hip flexors if stretching has not, or if the benefit from stretching has plateaued. Okay, let's do 3 breaths here. And as a fun extra fact, your hip flexors are really intricately related to your lower back. So feeling low back tension, and having tightness there, sometimes you can work on it by accessing the hip flexors.
I don't know about you guys, those are like my 2 main things when riding a lot. It's the hip flexors and low back. They're connected, of course.
Okay, let's gently come up off the myofascial balls. You can just put them off to the side. And then we'll end our class today by simply lying face down again with the little pillow out of the backs of your hands. And coming back to that crocodile breathing where you attempt to relax around your core enough so that when you breathe, you can feel the lower back gently move with your breath. And we'll stay here for a little bit. So really give yourself permission to drop in. Take a deep breath in. Long, slow exhale. And slowly take your time. We'll just come up to a comfortable seated position. So there's no fancy way to get there. And you can sit shins to the floor, hips on your heels, or crisscross. And once you sit, just close your eyes with your hands relaxed into your lap. And just take a moment to appreciate all of the work that your body does for you. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. And that's that.
Yo, these balls changed my life.
That's what everyone says. They're pretty great.
Thank you so much for this, Elena. That was amazing. I hope it helps you get out of any tightness or soreness you may have from riding. If you like the stuff that Elena just did, check out her Instagram page at Elena Shapeshifts. If you like this video, hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel because there'll be a couple more videos like this. And hasta la próxima, mi gente. Nos vemos.
There's no room for us. There's no room for us. I said, darling, can you see? There's no room for it.